So with all the news, both good and bad in society right now, you might have missed the school shooting that happened, I believe, 2 weeks ago. And if you did just so happen to know about that, you might have missed the other school shooting that happened right after, which led to all the pointless thoughts and prayers, the guessing game where we spend time guessing the ethnicity and the sexuality of the shooter so that we could not solve the problem in any capacity, but spew our narratives about insert group here being the problem for the rest of the world. And, of course, the pointless talk about gun control, whether if you're for it or against it, and if politicians should do anything about it. And it's gotten a little bit tiresome, and I'm more so of the idea of we need to start going towards solutions. Maybe that first step in order to get the ball rolling, because when we immediately go to certain subjects, everybody either throws their hands in the air or starts calling everybody some type of ism or a child murderer supporter if you don't do the things that they want you to do. So I thought that in a time, the first step could have been monitoring certain people when they say all of these cringy things online, because let's be honest, in a world where nobody loves these individuals, the first place they're going to run is online. But I didn't take into account that the FBI, for one example, is always monitoring certain individuals, and they do next to nothing about it up until the act has already been committed. Even to the point where they will start to go to some of these individuals' houses and question them, they really don't stick the ball where it needs to be.
Hey Colt, what's going on, bud? Saying that somebody from your old address over there in Traditions had made a threat to shoot up a school.
For real?
Yes, sir.
What? Tell me what.
You have any kids or anything living here?
Yeah, Colt Gray.
Colt?
Yeah, Colt. He's my oldest son.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Do you have weapons in the house?
I do.
Are they accessible to him?
They are. I mean, there's nothing loaded, but they are down. We do a lot of shooting. We do a lot of deer hunting. He shot his first deer this year.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like I'm pretty much in shock, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm a little pissed off, to be even really honest with you. I don't know anything about him saying like that, and I'm gonna be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away, and they won't be accessible to him. You know, I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to teach him about firearms and safety and how whatever where this is coming from is no joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's no joke.
But we wouldn't be here if it was.
No, I know, and I'm telling you right now, we talk about it quite a bit.
Okay.
All the school shootings, things that happen.
Yeah, scary.
Hey, are you getting picked on at school? He is. He's getting picked on at school. Dudes, just
hey Colt, what's going on, bud? So did your dad kind of explain everything to you?
Said something about shooting up a school.
Did you say something about school shooting?
Never. I just told him, I don't know what. Maybe they misheard somebody else. I would never say I was threatening.
You never ever said.
No, I swear.
I'd hate to. You know, my boss was even like, you know, I don't know how old this information is, and if you want to wait till Monday to follow up. I was like, nah, I'd rather do it now, because.
So would we.
Because God forbid something happened and I didn't do my job. I'd feel pretty bad about that. Take it at your word, and I hope you're being honest with me. I'm not saying you're lying, but it's
a serious thing.
It's not unusual for people to lie to police. If you look me in the eye and you tell me that's what you're telling me, I got no choice but to take it at your word right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
But like I was telling your dad, if you find out otherwise, then it's a different story, okay?
It's a really different story.
And in all moments in time, with all hope lost and with despair on the mind, and with the growing concern that maybe tomorrow, as I'm recording this, another school shooting is going to happen, of course, an old white guy gives the greatest solution that I think could help just a little bit, and that's public humiliation.
With us, who is oversees school security for the sheriff's office and partners with the school district. You know, this is absolutely out of control, and it ends now. 54 and counting tips came into Fortify, Florida last night, okay? That means investigators in the school district have been running around the clock to investigate these tips, which are all turning out to be false. So far, it's cost $21,000 to do these investigations. We have 2 in custody. We have an investigation looking at 1 other individual. So far this year, there have been 207 threats who have come in. We've arrested 7 people for written threats to kill. 1 student, if you remember, tried to bring a loaded firearm into a mainland football game. We've had 11 weapons on our campuses this year. So what we're going to start doing Monday is Since parents, you don't want to raise your kids, I'm going to start raising them. Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. And if I could do it, I'm going to perp walk your kid so that everybody can see what your kid's up to. The second point of this is, if I can any way find out that a parent knew what was going on and wasn't doing anything, your is getting perp walked with them. The purpose of Fortify Florida is to send in tips that we're going to investigate because you believe something is going to happen. To keep sending in these tips over and over and over again and think it's a big joke and nothing's going to happen to it. Starting Monday, we're going to have a billboard. We're going to have a poster out. I'm going to show you every kid that's been arrested and where they go to school. And then from there on out, we're going to publicly shame them and their parents. So parents, do your job. Don't let Sheriff Chitwood raise your kids. This is absolutely ridiculous. Go talk to the families who have lost a loved one in a school shooting. These little knuckleheads think it's funny. Go talk to those parents and see how funny this is. It's not. We're going to come and get you, and we're going to put you out for public embarrassment. And I know of a set of parents right now that they're looking at $11,000 each because somebody's paying this bill.
One thing a lot of kids really like is attention. They like all eyes on them. They like knowing that people are watching them, they're observing them, they're always attentive in their business, and it's so great. The one problem with that for a lot of kids, especially some adults, is that they don't want any negative attention. They just want everybody to look at them and think positive. So when even something goes wrong, they still want to be looked at in a positive light. Well, how does it feel knowing that maybe something happened at a school and maybe you got bullied, maybe you got embarrassed in front of your little school crush, and you go on social media and you say, "Grr, I'm gonna go and shoot the school up tomorrow," and maybe you mean it as a joke. Well, the thing about that is you're being watched, and it's not good for you to be saying things like that. And of course, now you're going to have to deal with the ramifications of being perp walked, and you're going to be ID'd, you're going to go through the whole process. And that is humiliating, especially when word gets out to the school.
Parents, do your job. Don't let Sheriff Chitwood raise your kids. This is absolutely ridiculous. Go talk to the families who have lost a loved one in a school shooting. These little knuckleheads think it's funny. Go talk to those parents and see how funny this is.
All right, sir, careful as you can. You're going to be walking over here to the gate over here, all right? Slow and steady. What you here for today?
Put that foot down. Let me get the other foot. All right, come on in here. Have a seat in the cell. We're going to gather up some paperwork and get things started for you. Do you have any questions? All right.
What we're going to start doing Monday is, since parents, you don't want to raise your kids, I'm going to start raising them. Every time we make an arrest, your kid's photo is going to be put out there. And if I could do it, I'm going to perp walk your kid so that everybody can see what your kid's up to.
And I think, and maybe it's a bad idea, maybe this will inspire people to even test the limits of this. Maybe it'll cause some individuals to be a little bit manic and start going berserk and start trying to fight police officers, which puts them into an even bigger predicament. And maybe this won't work in any capacity. But for the moment, I kind of like this idea. Shame tends to work on a few individuals. It makes them course correct when they start to think, yes, I am untouchable and I can no longer be touched. But it's always that type of humiliation that hits them right in the forehead and makes them say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be doing this because I don't want to be viewed as somebody who is potentially going to cause violence upon a bunch of people. I don't want that at all. I already have no friends. I already have no one to hang out with. Everyone already bullies me. I don't need them bullying me more because I just got perp walked into the school and I get perp walked into the lunchroom and I get perp walked into recess. I think this idea has some legs behind it as long as everybody's being called cautious. As long as everybody has their I's dotted and their T's crossed, I can't really poke too many flaws into it. There are some flaws there, but they're not strong enough to completely ignore the idea. And I think this would be a great first step. I think this is the first step to try to get children to understand that, yes, school sucks. You're probably going to get bullied. Things are not going to go your way. But it's better to ride it out the best way possible instead of getting on Snapchat, Facebook, your random fake Instagram account and saying, "Grr, tomorrow will be the day of reckoning upon you." Because I would rather get bullied and eventually come to the realization that all of these people are going to end up homeless and I have the glorious satisfaction of spraying them with rainwater on the ground as I speed away in my car while they're trying to beg for some money, than rather they have another moment to laugh at me while I have chains on my legs and wrist. But let me know. Do you think that this idea holds some legs? Do you think that this idea is good? Do you think that this idea is bad? Do you have another solution to this? I believe with one of those school shootings, the father has also been put behind bars and is awaiting his sentencing because, you know what? If you're a parent and you have guns, you could lock those guns away so that your dim-witted fucking children don't have too much access to them. No, I don't care that there are potentially no bullets in the gun. The motherfucker's probably gonna go look for those bullets, and if you're not hiding them and locking them behind things that they can't access, they're probably going to get their hands on those things. That is also a good idea, but I did like the concept of a white man who's in his probable 60s coming to save the day to deal with your dumb fuck children that you refuse to parent in the right type of manner. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.